Hey everybody, how you all doing out there? Got a lot of light here. Too much light. Going to show some Beatles finds recently that I haven't shown yet. So going to get right to it. Again, my room is still not the way I want it to be. Still haven't really devoted enough time to trying to straighten things up. But we'll start out with this. It's a box set. And I don't really know exactly where it's from. I think it says the EEC. It's called Rock and Roll, the Beatles and John Lennon. And this came out in 1975. It's got 3 discs in it. 2 of the discs are Beatles rock and roll type songs. You know, a lot along the lines like the Rock and Roll album. It came out in 76. And one of them here is the John Lennon Rock and Roll album from 75. And this is in pretty decent shape, all things considered. I'll just show you one of the records. It's on a black Parlophone label. As I say, I don't really know where it's from. I tried looking at the labels. See EEC on it. I'm sure a lot of you out there know. Here's a import record I got of a Ringo album, Goodnight Vienna. And I believe this is an Israeli press. Seen better days, condition-wise. This is on a black Parlophone label. Taking me a little time to get it back in the sleeve. Just hang on. Okay, really getting into collecting sealed albums that I won't open. You know, whenever I can find them, they're not costing too much. And this was the case with this one. It's George Harrison's Gone Troppo album. It's still sealed. And I already have a good playing copy of this, so I'll keep this one sealed. Next album that I'll show is an album I have several times already in different forms. It's a bootleg, 5 nights. I get a lot of glare here today. 5 nights in a Juno Arena. Now, I have this album several times. It's the Beatles in Japan, Tokyo, 1966, live. I have this same cover with the color drawings, and another one where it's kind of just white outlines of their faces. So there's 3 variations of this cover. Now, I wanted to complete the set, as they say, and the reason that I went ahead and got it too is because this is one of the very first Beatle bootlegs I ever got at a flea market around 1970, I'm going to say 1978, 1979, in my original collection that I don't have anymore. So I was able to reclaim it. It's always good when I'm able to get back some of these records that I used to have, no longer have. That's also the case with this album I'm going to show. It's another bootleg album. It's a McCartney concert, Madison Square Garden, December 1989, and that was the first time that I got a chance to see Paul. He played there 4 dates. I think I went to see 2 of the 4 concerts at the Garden back in 1989 in December. I had this album shortly thereafter. It was out on the market in certain stores, and I like it even just for the cover art, the cover alone. I mean, these days listening to this stuff is a lot of it's pointless because the quality's better in the official releases. You know, eventually Paul came out with Tripping the Life Fantastic. So it's a I think 3 record set, you know, on different colored labels. So another one that I was pleased to return to the collection. from the old days. And this is another one. You know, this it's funny. This particular video is showing a lot of albums that I used to have that I lost or sold. When I say lost, I don't mean literally lost and couldn't find. I mean sold. Here's another bootleg. This is a John Lennon one. Picture him riding a bicycle as a boy on the cover. It's called Yin Yang, this album. And as you can see on the back cover there, Yin Yang. A lot of good stuff on this album. For those people who like looking at labels, you got one side is pretty ordinary, standard stuff. The other side has a little design on there. I guess that's the yin and the yang. Yeah, very fortunate, you know, to get some of these. A lot of them are for nostalgia purposes, things that I used to own that I no longer have. Here's an album that I never had. It's the Beatles, another bootleg, talking about. Basically, there's good material on this album. I'm finding it has a lot of stuff like, you know, interviews and rare fooling around. It's mostly talking. It's got Shea Stadium as it happened, the KYA Peace Talk with John Lennon, some promo spots, the Kenny Everett appearance with John and Paul goofing around, and first USA interview. So this is a good collection of Beatles talking snippets and interviews. This one is a bootleg that's, I played this already, not too good, but you have to be aware of this. It's Wings 1979, December 7th, 1979, Wings over Wembley. Okay, playing Wembley. Too much glare here, folks, sorry about that. It's a double record set. And that's funny, this album, when I checked it out, also had a bonus disc in here, or accidentally put in here. It was a bootleg of a Jimi Hendrix show. So there was a third record thrown in here by mistake. So we got a Hendrix with this too. Sound quality, this is not very good, and I remember that from collecting Wings albums of that time period in the late 70s, 79. A lot of them are not really good quality. Here's a copy of Beatles Greatest from Germany. It says it's from Germany. I have this already. It's a common album. The glare. This one I picked up because it was a little different than the one I had. It says Crystal on there. Somebody told me that this was not truly an audiophile record. I don't know. It's on a green Odeon label. Odeon. I can hear that I think my upstairs neighbor is rising and stirring this morning, and he's getting up. So we're going to hear a little bit of him probably too. You know, got to try to do these videos more strategically. Here's something called A Salute to John Lennon and the Beatles Greatest Hits. And just a lot of different songs on here. Who's it by? I suppose by the Now Sound Orchestra. The Now Sound Orchestra does a lot of different Beatles and solo Beatles songs here. Well, actually, you know, there's My Sweet Lord, Whatever Gets You Through the Night. And the back picture is kind of funny. They have some pictures of John here over the years, spanning over the years from older to younger. Funny thing is, they accidentally put a picture here of George, thinking it's John. Unless they knew it was George and, you know, didn't care. Last one I'm going to show is an album that I've wanted for a while. It's I love the Supremes, Diana Ross and the Supremes, and this is a bit of Liverpool. It's the Supremes doing Beatles songs and other kind of English artists from that day. How Do You Do It, Jerry and the Pacemakers, World Without Love, Peter and Gordon, House of the Rising Sun by the Animals, and then they do A Hard Day's Night, and Because. I think Because is probably the Dave Clark 5 version of Because. You Really Got a Hold on Me, You Can't Do That, Do You Love Me, Can't Buy Me Love, I Want to Hold Your Hand, and Bits and Pieces again by the Dave Clark 5. So they don't just do Beatles songs here, they do other early 60s material. And I'm glad that I found this not too long ago. You know, it's something I've been looking for a while. Well, that's it. And thanks for watching. Looks like it's been pretty quiet up there. So anyway, thanks, folks.